Well, I have good news for you then.
Are we leaving?
We are indeed leaving. Now to begin posting in the places with which what I do that thing.
Which one will we what?
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. They're just doing that thing they do.
Yeah. See? Button gets it. I forgot to look.
Sometimes you gotta do that thing you do.
I would try to do this beforehand, but work got in the way, as it do.
Also, Draco, which part of the cold ovens do you want to go? Train, or who we met up with?
Train. Train is funnier.
Train. Or we could do both.
I mean, I guess we could do both, but definitely train first.
Okay.
So we got stuck on a train.
Okay, that feels so reductionary. Okay, so what happened was we were riding on the train, right? Going to New York,
NYC.
and a bunch of people got off. I overheard one of them saying that it's the last stop already, and I'm like, oh. So we both get up and talk to people who were still sitting by the doors, like, is it the last stop already? And they're like, no. And so we're like, oh, okay. So, and we sat back down. And then we realized the train hasn't started going again for a bit. And then we walked out and noticed that the doors were closed. And granted, there was one other group that was still on the train, and I could see them, like, but they were sleeping, and I'm like, maybe they just didn't hear or whatever. Also, by the way, none of us heard that this was the last stop.
Yeah, normally there'd be some kind of announcement for that, but this time, for some reason, not.
Normally there's an announcement. There was not.
And that was my first ride on a train.
And other things which happened was, like, we started panicking a bit too, because, like, we're like, oh my gosh, are we stuck on the train? Can we find someone to help us out? And then, like, since it's Draco's first time on a train, he didn't know what the conductor's uniform looks like, and he was like, oh, I saw someone in a suit walk by. I don't think they work here. And I'm like, the person walks by again in the other direction. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a conductor. And we were like, hey, like, banging on the door. It's like, but I don't think they heard the banging, otherwise that would have had, like, and we were, like, reading all the emergency brake information. It's like, oh, it's a federal crime if we were to do anything, like, breaking these things. Like, it was an entire thing.
Mm.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
We are the adults!
We're competent adults that knows how this works.
And it's like, oh yeah, this is a federal crime, or if you use the brakes when it's not an emergency.
Or hit the emergency button, apparently. Or pull the emergency handle.
Yeah, but, like, I understand why, because it's a pain in the butt to, whatchamacallit?
Reset.
It's a pain in the butt to do the reset emergency stuff, because it's not meant to be used frequently, and it's meant for, as it says, emergency. So if it doesn't like it's supposed to work at high speeds and low speeds and get everyone safely stopped, you know?
I mean, I would argue being stuck on a train is an emergency, but I don't think the courts would see it that way.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Did it think to call the train station?
Do you know the number to call a train station?
Yeah, I don't know the number to the train station.
We're in a subway.
I mean, it started as a normal train, and then it became like a subway, so there was no signal for internet.
Yeah, like signal is non-existent on subways, and how I know is because I had to go up. I gave Draco all my stuff later on in the trip. I was like, okay, I have no signal, but there is a person on the other side of these gates. I will pay the extra fee. I'm gonna cross over. You keep my stuff, keep all the stuff. I'm gonna talk to this person. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go up the stairs, get the signal, and then figure out the trains again. So basically that's what ended up happening. I ended up needing to go up the thing because the person was like, I need to know the route via train lines, not via city streets, which feels very like, what do you mean you need to know the route via city streets? Like, sorry, train lines, and can't do it via city streets. You work here. Shouldn't you know both? But that's besides the point. So with all that going on, what? So, eventually, that couple that was sleeping also realized that we're all stuck on the same train. And we were all trying to figure out what to do, and they eventually found a custodian going through the train cars, and we flagged them down. I was like, please let us out. We weren't meant to stay here. We thought that this wasn't the last stop. We've been stuck here for over half an hour, please. And then we were let out.
Hooray!
Yippee! Sorry for the long ramble.
I find that hilarious.
That was actually a pretty funny story, I'm not gonna lie.
It was a saga.
It was a saga.
Would you say it was epic?
I don't know if I'd go that far, yeah.
Y'all still haven't watched it, have y'all?
No, not yet. To be fair, because we went to New York City.
Yeah. What else happened? Do you want to talk about who we met at the event that we went to?
I mean, I don't see it as big of a deal as you do, but apparently we met the Twitch CEO. He was there at the event.
That's actually really cool.
See? Okay. This is why I was like, Draco, you don't understand the opportunity here. How rare of an opportunity you get, and like that's not every day we get to meet and interact with CEO of any company, right?
I mean, I
Um,
guess. I just don't really respect... I probably shouldn't say this on... fuck it.
No.
What are the chances?
No, he's watching. He's watching. He's now pissed off, and you don't like him.
You know what?
He found out who you were.
It's not that I don't like him. Let me make that clear. He's a very nice guy. Just the role of CEO, I am not fond of. And I don't want
That
to
I
go...
think is a fair take.
But, anywho... D&D... who would like to do the recap?
Alright, who has inspiration or who wants it?
I have inspiration. Actually, who doesn't have it?
I still got mine.
I still
got
have
mine.
mine.
I don't have inspiration.
You shut your mouth.
I could do one in character, but we'd lose a lot of information because, again, Karnak wasn't paying that much attention.
I mean, a lot of
short
very
one
important stuff
is-
did happen.
The short version is we saw Lord Moldy Butt's turn into a vampire at his brother's wedding by killing his brother and the girl he loved. That was actually the only part I really caught, and that was kind of dark.
It's very low of him. Yeah.
Welcome to Barovia.
What else is new?
Granted, it feels like Vampire might have influenced the interaction a little bit,
I mean,
but
above board, Strahd made the decision to follow through. All Vampire did in the grand scheme of things was whisper in his ear, "Hey man, you could totally kill Sergei right now and get everything you want." Could there have been magic influence? Possibly, that's unclear. But when you boil it down, it really went to some guy whispering in his ear, "Do it, dude. Come on."
Do it.
He got Palpatined.
Mm-hmm.
Either or.
Here I.
I love you, Daddy.
Yeah.
Watch him siege the Emperor Temple too. So I can make this deal. And
And
after
we
that,
know
we
it.
decided to just go book some more. To lead to find out the more of the story over the wedding and what actually happened.
We were able to get the Berserkers on our side. We got that as well. But that was at the start of the last session. There was that. We went into the book.
And I
Went
also
through two
read-
chapters.
And also, we figure out he can't be feared.
It's very
Well,
true.
I mean,
And we also found out that his ugly face killed Irina, the midlife crisis.
yeah.
All this could have been solved if Strahd just found a trophy girlfriend or got a new carriage or something. But alas, he chose vampirism.
I think that we got everything.
Yeah,
We're
that
kind of all over the place, but that's
Yeah.
everything.
that was a bit all over the place, but I'll give inspiration to those who participated.
Hot dog.
Only reason why I remember because I watched it today while driving.
Also, I'm just gonna say this. PSA. Hey, chat. Don't let friends' midlife crisis into vampirism. If you see that, friends don't let friends become vampires over feeling bad about aging. But with that said, let us bring ourselves... Actually, you guys are just gonna hop into the book next, right? Because...
Isn't that where we left off?
Yes, the
Yeah,
chapter was uncoded and you guys were about to hop in. That's right.
It was read something, if I remember right.
Let's find that chapter. There's my homebrew collection. For Curse of Strahd specifically. There you are. And we are on chapter 7. The Corruption of Yester Hill. Yes, here you are. In my youthful folly, I believed I was the land. But time revealed powers beyond the mortal mind still maintained their hold here. Now, I can move you to the map, to a place you're familiar with. Well, everyone except for Clover is familiar with. Where is... I know you're in here somewhere. Is it closer to the top? Okay, I'm gonna find this stupid map. There you are.
Oh.
And I will, set the scene. Also, I'm gonna maybe change the music from the intro theme to something a little more appropriate. Not that one. Maybe not that one either. Which one would be good? Well, definitely not that one. I guess I could make this a Strahd battle theme moment. He is involved in the scene we're about to unfold. Using this song a lot more than I thought. It is really hard. Rays of light divine fight to pierce the heavy clouds of Barovian mists weighing on the ground. The sun is engraved on an ornate shield that beams as if it's held in its proper place in the sky above. Gabriel Andrel shakily props himself on his warhammer, blood dripping from a gash on his forehead, is mirrored by the gore splattered on his weapon. Next to him is a young woman, shouldering a mountain of gilded plate armor. Gripped tightly in her gauntlets is a brutal morning star, shaped like the sun. You stand just on the edge of a wilting grove, high on a hill, before a colossal, blossoming tree. Andrel speaks up. Strahd, you're better than this. There's no need for this to go on. You see Lord von Zarovich clutching a still beating heart in his claw. 5 figures, their bodies wrapped in fibrous robes woven of natural materials, and their faces obscured by heavy hoods, lie scattered about his feet. He crushes the heart, and tenebrous tendrils of energy writhe from it, wrapping around the bodies and rooting them to the soil. They rise to their feet, stoic. Still, a series of cracks, snaps, and rumbles follows. Behind you, a small army of skeletal warriors clad in decrepit, tattered leather pry themselves from long-sealed cairns atop the burial mound. Let's see. Where are you? That's just saying what he's done. Okay. Strahd smiles. Men, make sure the zombies get to where they need to go. Use violence if you have to. You gather you are part of Strahd's forces in the corruption of the Gulthis tree.
See this thing?
And, oh, also, I don't think we mentioned it, but, Yelling did have to bounce. They have family over. They were here for the cold open, but they will be auto-piloted due to circumstances.
We'll make sure to plug them at the end of the stream.
Skeleton Man! Skeleton Man!
Tonight, the part of Antonius will be played by.
Skeleton Warriors.
That's a good point. I guess I could give Antonius' sheet over to someone else to pilot. I was gonna do it, but, we have people here that know how to use Bard and Arcane Trickster Rogue. Who would like to, control Antonius for the evening?
Who's played a bard before?
I have.
Right?
You know what?
I
In
agree, yes,
character,
but I
it
would
would make
control
sense to
Evie.
give it to Hoshi because Clover and Antonius have been pals for the moment.
Alright. I have sent... Well, you should now have access to the sheet. I already rolled initiative. Let's see, we have the skeletons, the Zambos. And I just have to check, is Strahd an active participant? I don't think he is at the moment. I think he's just going to let you and the skeletons do the work. When you can summon skeletons, you don't really need to be part of the fight unless things go south.
We have people for that.
Exactly.
I think the only one we need is Kardak.
To it. Antonius.
Oh, also, I do want to make this part clear. If you would like, you could side with the, just for simplicity, Team Holy over there.
Any other day, I would.
Daluna?
What?
You need to roll your initiative, I believe.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Nat 1.
Well,
Again, I've said it a million times and I'll say it a million more. I'm okay with getting Nat 1s on initiative order.
that's fair.
Because I don't, like, that's the one place where it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter that much.
But I also feel compelled to... Just seemed like right moment. Right, so
Oh,
Raul,
absolutely.
you are on first.
Clover has a higher dex modifier than me, so they
Ah,
go.
let me
before
swap that around. Clover, you're on first. Above board 2, the goal, 3 zombies need to make it to the tree over here. Once they do, your mission is complete. You just have to keep the holy people from getting to those zombies.
Which tree?
If you zoom out right behind you over
Okay.
here. Also, because this map is the size it is, it's a little wonky what the distances are, but I'm basically ruling that even though that says 25, that's 5 feet for the most part. Just to make movement a little easier on this map.
Okay.
I think it's because this hill is so goddamn huge.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm up first. Let's see. What do they look like? Clover's going to take some pop shots at this one. And she is going to use...
Oh wait, their health bars aren't showing. I'm gonna fix that. And I'm sorry, I was looking at a sheet. Could you ping one more time who you're firing at?
This one.
Okay, the lady.
Bonus action. Steady aim. And then I will also be using sharpshooter. So I get advantage. Let's use the magic bow.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit.
Not using the sharpshooter this time. Second shot. 28.
A 28, on the other hand, will hit.
Sneak attack. 24 damage.
Okay. Nice hit. 24. Boom.
And can't move because of steady aim. And that'll be my turn.
Alright, and now that will bring us to Raoul.
Alright. I really don't want to do it, but we just gotta get through the chapter as quick as we can. So let's just run up to the big guy in front. And I'm gonna start doing my wombo combo. First hit. 28
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
for 9
Just
radiant
the 9.
damage.
Okay. That's 9. And he is not an undead, obviously.
Second hit, a 30 to hit.
Will
Jesus.
absolutely hit.
13 damage.
Actually, you know what? No, a 30 doesn't hit. You rolled way too high.
Way too high.
It's only a 19 on the die.
No, Draco, what happened is he rolled high enough to not only hit, or to miss him, but hit her.
Yes.
And then another 13.
Well, I can say it now. He no longer has a nice amount of HP. On the second one, he had a nice amount.
And this is me not stacking any of my like chemo craft and stuff like that. I'm just swinging as normal.
Hmm.
And I end my turn.
All right, and that will bring us to the Skeleton Men. Skeleton Men. Let's see. I think they're good where they are. They're just gonna unleash a hail of arrows. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are immediately here. And actually, wait, the other ones do have the range. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1. That misses. 2. Misses. 3. That one actually does hit. Let's see. So that was... We'll just do this in the one up there. So that was on Andral. 7. Okay, that will also hit. -5. That's 5 miss. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'll roll that fumble. Number 12. He doesn't have leg muscles, so that's just a miss. His muscle cannot rupture if no muscle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, goddamn. The tryhard skeletons have come out. Okay. So, let's see. That one was 7 damage. That one was on her. Oh, that missed. The 8 was on her. 23. You will watch as a literal rainstorm of arrows descends upon the two that are just barely standing to try and fight off these undead hordes. Antonius.
Alright, let's move Antonius. This is going to be 30, 5, 10, 15 here. And then I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. So, since this is easy because it's just the two of them, I imagine you're not going to cast it on Raoul.
Nope. DC is 16.
Okay, and that is Dex. Well, these are big, tanky people with heavy armor. I don't think they're gonna do very well with trying to dodge. Yeah, that's a 10 and a 9.
Alright.
Oh.
And then... Then I will use 1 Bardic Inspiration on Bolt.
Alright.
And thanks to the Bardic Inspiration, is 10th level. So it's a D10, and also she has... Where is that? I was just reading. It's before that. This one. Magical Inspiration. You can add the inspiration to damage with this.
Nice. Right, and that's it for Antonius?
Yes.
Right, it's the zombies' turn. They begin to move their way down the path. The first zombie manages to get to the tree, and you watch as he dives towards the ground and erupts in like an explosion of gore on this tree. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That one can also make it to... wait, that was the one I put in. Well, shoot. We'll make it this one, because he's not going to get there immediately. Turn order. There we go. 2. Did I get him in? I did. 13. Bam. Alright. 13. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, wow. Thanks to the dice rolls, you just auto-succeeded. Boop. Again, I think it's partially because of this map being so wonky. I probably should have put you on the battle map instead, but I also like the imagery here. So as the last zombie makes his way over, the wood splinters, departing to welcome what it believes to be the remains of sacred revered warrior. But the ghastly shambling husk of its druidic protector commits itself to the maw. Bark peels from the trunk of the tree like decaying flesh, falling from a rotting corpse. Globs of tree sap glimmer, amber, even in the misty shroud, morph to a thick blood, and the dew-like twinkle on the green leaves evaporates, and the boughs crash down by the hundreds. The holy site lies in ruins. Strahd vanishes in a swirl of his cloak, and reappears next to the tree with a vial. He drags the glass along the tree, and fills it with the bloody sap before fading into the mists that surrounded the hill. He got a little lost in the weeds here. There he is. Yeah. Takes sap and vanishes. I set to raise and salt the earth to purify it. Neither the ancient spirits of the druids nor the gods of the old world would rule above me. I am ancient. I am the land. Bolt, you now have the ability to cast the Hallow spell as a ritual. Every dusk. Let us work our way back to the Barovian map. I'm just gonna clean this up.
That's a pretty good spell.
Yeah.
Downside is I need a bunch of shit worth 1,000 gold to use it.
You do have a lot of gold here, but whether or not you have the materials is kind of up in the air.
Herbs, oils, and incense worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
Ah.
That's probably the entire country's worth of materials
Mm.
to get 1,000 gold worth of that.
And, above game, the book gives me lore that wouldn't come in naturally. So I just want to make it clear, if you feel bad about having to fight Gabriel Andrel and his fellow over there, Gabriel Andrel supported Strahd in his rule, accepting that Strahd was just simply not a man of faith. And he was fine with Strahd rooting out some of the paganistic druids before he learned that he wasn't going to stop with just their removal. So, grays and whatnot in morality.
God dang.
He's a man of faith and the cloth, but more people might turn to the Morning Lord if those pagans are gone.
Yeah, St. Andrel was the one that was in Kretz, right? That's what that abbey was?
Yes. Actually,
Oh.
let me take a look at the Kretsk map, because I think there's some stuff named after another saint that you just met there. No, the abbey is named after Saint Markovia,
Ah.
who was
Okay, the one in
the
Valakis.
lady that was with Gabriel in that fight was her.
Okay, I remember because the church in Valaki is the Church of St. Andrel.
Yes. And the orphanage is also named after him.
So they were important people, but, goddamn.
And that is chapter 7 completed.
mean, it's so early in the day. Might as well keep going through the rest of the book, right?
Yeah.
Bolt doesn't even say anything after that. He just flips the book up. He just flips the next page and starts decoding the next chapter.
All right. Roll that Arcana.
And you're getting the guidance and the bardic inspiration. You
Yep.
technically still have it from that book encounter.
True.
Inspiration.
We've rested, right? Since before we did the
Before we-
book.
Yeah, I think before this book we had a long rest.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a long rest.
Because it was the next day, so yeah, you did get a long rest.
Alright, guidance plus, I do technically still have that bardic inspiration, unless that's vanished by now.
Yep, you still have it.
Alright, well, is that a D8 still, or a D10?
It's Oh, it is D10? Oh, right, because the
Yeah.
level up just happened.
Yeah, she's level 10 in Bard.
You get that D4. Because you're also getting help from Clover, so that's an extra 5 to your 21.
Fuck it, I'm gonna use another Path of Genius, so that'll put me...
No. You have advantage.
Actually... Oh! That's right, you did give me advantage, so never mind. Ignore all of that.
Alright. I mean, you could still... You've already used the Bardic Inspiration, and I just need to see exactly what the DC at this point is. 5, 15, 18,
Is it past a 26?
21... 22. No, 26 definitely pushes you well over the age to decipher this. And the mists begin to swirl as you enter Chapter 8, The Heart of the Old Gods.
In decoding the book takes 4 hours, right?
Yes.
That counts as a short rest.
Well, Clover and Bolt wouldn't really have time to rest because you're actively working on decoding the book. But everyone
for
else
the-
could theoretically
Yes, for
take a short
the-
rest.
It's for the instance of the Bardic Inspiration because she gets it back on short rest.
Yeah.
So you technically have infinite short rest by just recovering.
Or at the very least, you have short rests in between chapters.
Hey,
Say like because it takes about an hour to translate the book, though, doesn't it? in
Yeah.
Time?
It's an hour in the book and 4 hours to decode.
hey, Warlocks, congratulations. Use all your spells, you get a free refill.
Yeah.
If only we had a warlock.
If only. You could have had a warlock, technically, but didn't want to follow that.
I miss you.
Yeah. I wrenched superstition and tradition from the claws of the few who clung to their old ways. The souls trapped here were to succumb or suffer. Right, and before I read that, I'm going to change the music. Let me see, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. There you are. Okay. And let's get rid of the Forest Day, because that... There it is. Alright. Humidity swells and damp air sticks to your skin. The stench of putrid water swirling with rotting plants floods your nostrils. At your feet sink into soft peat. A dozen moss-covered menhirs form a near-perfect circle in the spongy earth. These weathered stones range in height from 15 to 18 feet, and 4 to the north, south, east, and west rise above the 20. A wild-looking woman, with sticks and mud plastered to her graying hair, stands at the northernmost stone, and in the center of the circle is Strahd von Zarovich. levitating inches above the muddy soil. You recognize Baba Lysaga, even though she is a bit younger than when you met her. You also recognize where you're currently located is Berez before it was flooded. It's a bit difficult to see with the mist, but you see the telltale signs of a town, structure, lights in the distance from where you are currently. And you are free to investigate this area as you will, ask questions, look at your surroundings beyond what I've already described.
Is there a map?
So we're going to do this mostly Theater of Mind this section. I could take you to the Berez map, but because it's like Yester Hill where it's really far out and I can't change the map to look like it actually does match in this timeline, we're going to just Theater of the Mind for this section. But you're free to walk around the structure, speak. Oh, I forgot, very important thing. Your role here. You notice it looks like you're wearing different clothes, probably to match your role here. You're dressed in clothes that's very similar to Baba Lysaga's. It's not the best looking. You're covered in mud and sticks and twigs. You're apparently taking the role of witches assisting with whatever ritual is going on here.
I guess the only question really is to ask Baba Lysaga what's the plan for today?
Apparently you weren't paying attention. We're performing a very important ritual today. These remaining druids and barbarians who worshipped the Night Mother, we've gathered them here to renounce their faith and to torture them for the ritual to succeed. She will hand whoever wants it a lash to start beating this priest that remains. As you look at your surroundings a little closer now, you see that there are other of these druids with their chest cavities opened. Hearts already cutting out of them. They are still, however, chained to the south and east menhir. You also notice that some of the menhirs, like in the modern age, have depictions of animals on each one. But there's also a carcass of that animal underneath those stones. Anyone who wants to can make a medicine check on the animals. And a religion check to see if you can figure out what exactly is happening here.
Medicine for Antonius. And religion for Clover. Nope.
So, what Antonius gathers and shares is that these animals were butchered within the last day and with very precise cuts and intent. With 221, nature. You know that nature deities are often revere and protect creatures of the world, and these have been strewn about underneath them very intentionally and ritually to disrespect whatever deity is or was worshipped here. You can gather with your knowledge of what you've seen so far. This is Mother Night, aka Hecate's, one of the various shrines to her and her various individual pieces that is being scorned here. Just as rituals can be performed to honor gods, some may be performed to curse them. Does anyone want to approach this priest/druid to beat him, or maybe get some information out of them, if you can try to do that?
Clover does.
Right. You take the lash to beat at this priest, or at least try to make it seem like you are. If you'd like to, while you're walking up to him, you can do a medicine check to see what kind of state he's in. That's just not enough. He's been through the ringer, you can certainly tell that. He looks a bit famished. Like, clearly they need him alive to a certain point for this ritual, so maybe they're feeding him enough just to get by, but he looks almost skin and bones at this point. Please, no more. Also, very obvious thing, his eyes are gone. He's alive, and his eyes were gouged out. The saga. Please.
Tell me what you know.
I'm gonna just roll really quick. You're not her. I was kidnapped from my tribe. I've been here for at least a month. The witch has been feeding me just enough of something to keep me alive. I don't know what, but I don't know if I want to know. Every day I am lashed for several hours. She demands that I renounce Mother Night as a false god and recognize Strahd as the only ruler, but I refuse. I don't know how much longer I can hold out, though.
You don't know why she kidnapped you?
We used to live near Yesterhill. But that place has been corrupted too. Some of us have fallen to the devil. Some of us will try to keep the faith as best we can. There's only so many places to hide from him.
Can I do a deception to act like I am whipping him?
You may. Let me clear some stuff, and I just have to grab her sheet. Let's see. 10. She's not trained in insight, but let's see how she roll. Oh, goddamn. What are you doing? Give me that! She snatches the lash out of your hand and begins beating him in front of you. This poor, mutilated man. A shriek ripples across the swamp, momentarily silencing the chirping and buzzing of the nature around here. The old woman steps away from the colossal northern stone, her bony fingers caged around a still, beating heart. She motions to Strahd with her open hand, and he drifts towards her. The Lord removes a glass vial from his coat and slides it delicately through the mound of soil at the stone's base. The heart gushes and squirms as if trying to escape, and the woman squeezes what blood remains into the vial to mingle with the bog soil. Strahd steals the glass with a cork, kisses the woman tenderly on the forehead, and vanishes in a quickly dissipating cloud, leaving her with a wide, motherly grin on her cracking, aging face. And the scene shifts. The mists roll in. And let me grab... Where was it? I might just go with this for the time being, as it's now night. The harsh smell of the swampy decay withers, but the warmth remains. The thick, heavy air is replaced with a dry heat, and the mist coalesces into ramshackle walls made of twigs and logs, dense wooden furniture, and all the trimmings and decor of a kitchen. Scents of seasoned meat pies linger in the air. At the center of this small hutch is a standing iron kiln and horrid-looking hags with dark blue-green skin, wiry hair, and wretched fingers that creep like spiders' legs huddle around it. You now see that your own skin, in a mirror that's hanging by, is a bluish-green hue, and your hands are tipped with clawed-like nails. Strahd stands with you, no more than a few feet away, in the tightly crowded shack, pressed against a heavy table, set with a butcher's knife, and a wide array of diced vegetables and spice jars. A black raven is restrained in his hand, fluttering feverishly to fly away. But he snaps its neck and hands it to a young girl. "Another for the cutting board, Morgantha. Feather it as you would like." With that, she lops the bird's head clean off and begins the sloppy plucking of its feathers. I guess anyone who wants to could roll an Arcana check to see what they know about hags. Considering you know this is now a younger Morgantha.
You said history, right?
No, Arcana, because you're looking for information on hags. I guess religion would also be acceptable.
I have a 2 in both, so Arcana it is.
Right. So, Bolt, Kardec, actually, basically everyone. Raoul's going to get some additional information, but everyone else, you know for the most part that hags have a very bizarre life cycle. Well, I should say reproductive cycle specifically, where to birth another hag, they must take a mortal child, a girl, and convert her into a hag over years of time. They don't show any signs of being a hag until they hit puberty. Raoul, you know, with your natural 20, because Dan has probably told you this information because of the hags that were around. The way that hags reproduce is they steal a child from a mother, or they get the mother to give them the child through some sort of coercion or what have you. They then consume the child whole. After some months in the hag's belly, she will give birth to the girl at her age she was consumed at, and slowly but surely raise her until she hits puberty and becomes a hag herself. It's not a pretty life cycle. It's gross. If you want to share that information with anyone, you have it.
I'll wait a moment until we're out of the book.
That's fair. Alright. Now, the module does have, like, we could do this as a skill challenge. Do you guys want to run a skill challenge where you're making dishes with ravens? The traditional is pie, but you could come up with recipes possibly. I just don't know how exactly you would flavor your skills into baking various desserts.
You know what? I would like to see this happen. Let's make it where Karnak tries to make a cake.
Okay. So, I do have some VCs here to hit. There's preparing it, cooking it, and plating it. People can get different roles. We'll put Kardec into cooking. Now, what would cooking be? I want to say dexterity, maybe?
I always said survival.
I could see survival, but I mean, it's baking, really, not cooking, but I guess I could see the argument for survival.
Or nature.
From what I've heard in another group, like cooking in general is a wisdom skill because you can kind of like wing it and feel it out. Baking requires intelligence because you have to follow the instructions to the T.
That's fair. All right.
But you can do whatever skills you want.
I mean, I'll save for default intelligence, but if you want to argue something else, I'd like to hear the argument for it, Daluna.
Honestly, Dex works
Okay.
because I have is it a saving throw or just a regular Dex?
Just a flat dex.
That was a 22.
You make the best damn raven cake anyone has ever seen in their lives. Like, it's immaculate. Meat cakes aren't really usually a thing, but it's very creative, and the supplies are on hand to make a damn fine raven cake. So now we need someone to plate it.
I'll plate it.
Alright, this one's, again, probably going to be a dex simply because you just have to cut it just right and get that slice onto the cake without, or a plate without it flopping off.
And I use sleight of hand.
I'll allow that. That makes a lot of sense for the scenario. Oh yeah, you get the perfect slice of cake out of this. You know, it occurs to me we didn't have anyone do the first part, prepare, which is just, you know, plucking the bird to have the proper ingredients set and ready. So
Should we just roll that?
yeah,
as well?
we can just have someone roll that post-mortem, I suppose.
I can do it.
All right. So yeah, plucking the bird, this one's definitely going to be survival. God damn, yeah. You know what you're doing. You're more like, you usually deal with wolves, but it's easy enough to pluck the feathers out of the bird. You saw Morgantha do it, and you can figure out the right way to pull these out and properly prep this bird. Once
If Karnak wants to make the best cake, we're gonna give him the best,
the best damn raven cake anyone's ever seen.
I made that shit look good.
Once the dish is complete, Strahd chimes in. Someone will surely have to taste this blasphemous meal. Strahd claps his hands, and a man with slick-backed hair, harsh eyes, and a dreadful if regal air steps across the threshold of the hut. A man identical to Strahd in every way. The seated Strahd invites his double inside, and the clone marches up to the freshly plated dish. The lookalike stands upright and nods. These will serve nicely. The primary Strahd nods, and in return bids the taster to leave before kneeling and filling a glass vial with the viscera of bird bones and black feathers before blending into a cloud of vapor and phasing through the silty walls of the hut. Okay, and now I need to take you... Once more, we're going to shift things with the music. I just have to find the correct track, and then I'll be taking you off to our next destination. Let's see, what was it called? Well, first I'll take you to the actual map, because I'll have to change the music from there. Let's see, I believe it's this one? Number 7? No, it's a little higher up than that. Where? Actually, wait, is it on this one just at a different spot? Yeah, it'd be right there. Okay. I just have to put a couple of tokens in the map, and then I'm good to move y'all over. I have 100% certainty no one has any idea what this chapter is going on about, but I'm interested in guesses while I set stuff up. What do you guys think the fuck is happening here?
Honestly, I have no fucking clue.
Because it started out with Babala Saga and doing the ritual. Well, trying to do a ritual, but we couldn't get much more out of that. Now we're with these hags and they're trying to make a cake. There was a body double.
Wait a minute.
There's something that each and every single one of these scenarios had, if you were paying attention to it. What does Strahd do at every single one of these events you've seen so far?
He's corrupting the land.
Yes, but there's something else in particular that he's been doing every time a ritual is complete.
He takes something.
There you go.
Yeah, this time he took like the piece of the mashed up ravens. Last time he took something from the tree.
Was bloody sap, because the Gulthis tree was becoming the corrupted version you dealt with before. So it was bloody sap. He gathered viscera from the crows and ravens, and he collected blood and soil in the second one. And I say that to reveal to you this, and allow me to switch the music, if it's not already been.
Oh.
And set the scene. Let's see. Stunning camp. Where's my... Here you are. This is the one I want. A wailing wind brushes away the mists around you, revealing a cracked ancient stone and muffled vermilion glow. Low thrumming rises and falls, and the light pulsates in unison. The clatter of boot heel on stone. The light is effulgent and reveals a 10-foot-tall, ruby-red gemstone in the shape of an anatomically correct human heart, wrapped firmly in gold bands and floating over the depths of a chasm of a tower spire. The doorway into the tower and the source of the glow are eclipsed by a glowing figure. Strahd has climbed the stairs of the tower interior and now stands between you and the crystal. With a nonchalant wave of his black leather boots rise from the staircase landing, and he glides through the air to the heart. He touches his hand to it and retrieves the 3 glass vials filled with the murky admixtures. He pours the first over the top of the gemstone. I am ancient. I am the land. The second, repeating the chant. And as he repeats the motion the third time, with the final vial, the thrum turns into a pounding. The ruby flashes in tandem with the sound again, and the crystalline structure cracks. Shards of the heart crumble and fall to the depths below, and layered beneath it are bits of flesh. Thump thump. Thump thump. The shell shatters, and a 10-foot-tall human heart hangs aglow in the night. Anyone who's trained in Arcana can make a check to figure out what the fuck.
And I
Again.
realized why you named the stream that.
Yep, that's why I named the stream The Heart of the Matter.
Again, like, I've been having to record it because it's basically been checked out, but he's actually paying attention because this is actually interesting to him. Especially this, because if this is like what I think it is, it might be beneficial for him to know about it.
Chaco, is Bolt trained in Arcana?
No, he's not.
Okay, so then, Kardak, you think about this, the ritual as it's been going on thus far, and this heart. Strahd has been corrupting the lands, stealing away the control that Hecate had. And you see this heart, and you think back to one of the first battles you had against Strahd. Bolt shot him and it did no damage at all, which was weird. And you realize this thing took the damage for him. He can apparently activate a connection to this thing to transfer damage from him to it. And you think, why didn't he do that when Dan caused his illusory double to explode? And another realization comes to you. He has to consciously activate this connection. He was so surprised by the events that happened, he didn't have the time to think to transfer the damage. And it's possible this object might have a separate amount of health. Maybe there's a threshold he has to consider. That part's unclear. But what is clear is, as long as this thing stands, Strahd can allow it to take damage as long as it can stay structurally sound. On that realization, the mists once again fade in. This was not mere iconoclasm. My faith was in myself. I had none to spare for the gods. Bolt, you now have the ability to cast Magic Jar as a ritual spell once per dusk. And you snap back in Dan's hut.
What the fuck was that?
I think that's his heart.
Does that explain it all then?
To
Why
me,
he's
it
so
does.
strong?
If I'm guessing, we have to destroy that thing to or be able to actually do official damage to him.
Or was anyone paying attention to the room that it was in? Maybe when we're going after Ravenloft Castle, we could try to find that room.
Was a little difficult to see. You know it's definitely in a tower. And Ravenloft being a castle, it has a few towers. But you also get the feeling you'll probably know when you're in the right tower. Considering that thing's at the top, it glows, and it beats like an actual heart, you'll probably hear it when you're in the right spot.
The thing is just a front to all that is natural.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't really been paying that much attention to these. But that did make it where I was actually I was interested in what that was. Because if that's showing us a way to defeat him, then we need, or that it shows an advantage for us.
Agreed. Thank you for keeping your eye out, Kartak.
Do we need to separate some to look for the heart and while others confront Strahd?
I don't think that is much of a good idea to
No,
split up in his lair.
I think we should do, or I think target the heart first. We target that, we make it where he's vulnerable for good. This
Dan will chime in. We are going to have additional allies. Perhaps we could send them against the heart.
Maybe. Depends on how many forces they throw at us. But then again, we don't even know if the heart has a defense system of itself.
don't expect it to be easy.
And something of that importance definitely would have some sort of security system.
Just being in the same room with it, that the beating felt to like reverberate through all of us. I wouldn't be surprised if it had some weird magical heart attack magic.
Was that a pun?
Rawls thinks about it for a moment. Not intentionally, but I think it was.
Oh. We still have a decent amount of time. But I also want to ask, because we got through those chapters pretty quickly, do we want to keep going, or... Because admittedly, I would need to do a bit of prep work, but if we take a break right now, I could get that sorted.
Yeah, we can take a break.
I was gonna say, is this where you were gonna end the session originally?
Like, I figured you'd probably get through 2 chapters a session, but I guess I underestimated because this one was definitely more narrative than combat related, so it went faster than I had anticipated.
We're just that good.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to this part of the tome because it's so absolutely insane.
Yeah, it is.
And above game, the heart is like in vanilla Curse of Strahd. This lore bit is a homebrew module. So now you know how it was made. In module is written, you would just stumble upon a beating heart in a fucking tower that functions the same, but you would have no idea what the fuck was going on when you found it.
That's that's a big oversight on the writers of the module.
Yeah. It happens.
Mm.
Okay, let me see. I need to find K46. Ah, okay, so you would all start there. We'd grab, whoops. So we got him over there. Oh, yeah, that would be interesting. You could do that. Alright, but anyone who needs to, stretch your water, drink your legs while I'm setting this up in the background. Also, I will say that me having you roll Arcana isn't in the module, or the homebrew module. I just added that in because how would you make this connection ever? Without that little bit of information. That this heart, what does it do? What is it here for?
He just has a giant heart.
You know, everyone has their own aesthetic choices when they're designing rooms for their home. Some people like to put certain wallpapers or posters of their favorite bands or shows. Strahd just has a giant crystalline heart hanging in the middle of one of his towers for some reason.
You don't?
Who doesn't, right?
You want to know a fun fact that I was just putting bits together?
What?
Curse of Strahd came out in 2016. Slay the Spire came out in 2017. And if anyone knows the thing about Slay the Spire, there's a giant heart in a tower.
Huh. It's very realistically could have been inspired by that.
This is everyone's PSA. Play Slay the Spire. It's a good roguelike card game.
Let's see, I don't even think I played it.
Yeah, I don't think I've played it either. I've heard of it, but I have not played it.
It's pretty cool. Huge fan of it.
There. Part of this I'm gonna have to wait for your decision to set up, or I could just set up both scenarios. You will get a choice on which way you want to go. So this one is gonna have a combat encounter,
Okay.
but you will have a choice on where exactly you're gonna go. I guess I could ask it without revealing too much above board, or I could wait till we're in the moment as well. I guess the choice really boils down to, do you want to go with Strahd and see potentially what combat capabilities he has, or B, do you want to go with Rahadin into the castle and learn more about things around the castle, would be the choice.
Mm.
That would be a... Do we want to know more about our location or the big man himself?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, because we already know a lot about him, but at the same time, we don't know a lot about him.
You could know
I mean,
more.
like, I tried learning some when I was fighting him as human, but he kicked my ass.
And I tried to, but only thing I found out that he's immune to fear.
And hey, that is something.
Yeah, now we know.
You also didn't know he had a freakish giant heart in a tower until now. That's information you could only learn from this book.
I mean, honestly, any way we would find that out.
Outside of walking into the room and going, what the fuck is this?
That's just opens up the door. Huh. You know what? Not my day.
What the deuce?
That's weird. Let's just close this door and not come back here ever again.
Just gonna lock it.
If we hadn't read the book, we probably would never have found out what that was.
Does anyone have Alchemist Fire?
A lot of it. And maybe Catapult to launch it up there.
I mean, is there still the carriage with the 100 alchemist fires at Van Richten's tower?
You know what? It's fine. I'll just throw Ember in there.
There you go.
Gotta. I wonder what other body parts he would have in the castle too.
Yes.
The lesser known artifact, the Eye of Strahd. The thumb.
Draco, if we go
Toenail.
to another one of the towers, and if there's just a giant brain in there, I'm leaving.
Yep, turns out mind flayers.
No.
Last chapter of the book, there's mind flayers now.
Nothing was ever, like, spoiled at any point in the book to make you think maybe there was mind flayers until that moment.
Vampire mind flayers.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. No.
I think. Let me look it up. I think there actually is vampiric mind flayers.
I think there's something like that.
Flayers.
I will not deal with that
Mind
again.
pyres.
Mind fires.
I literally had a DM that made homebrew those, and they are not fun.
I'd
I
imagine,
mean, I
yeah.
would imagine the fucking mind flayer fused with a vampire. Yeah, I would imagine it's bad.
Yep, there's vampiric mind flayers. They're in Van Richten's Guys of Ravenloft.
I had a feeling they were.
Should not be a thing.
Listen, there's Elder Brain Dragon. Why not Mind Flayer
I
Vampire?
know. They shouldn't be a thing either.
I know, I can't wait to run that in my own personal game. That's
No.
the final boss.
That'd be a hell of a final boss.
Tadpole breath or whatever they have.
Yeah, something like that.
Listen, the whole campaign setting is supposed to be like weird, like alien, like eldritch horror nonsense. Of course, the final boss is going to be Elder Brain Dragon.
Both of those.
Then right when they defeat it, they go to the Horde, and it's that, the Horde mimic.
Oh,
Don't
God.
you dare say that.
It couldn't.
Don't you dare say those words of a minute.
Hey, let's make it worse.
Hey, it exists. It's in Fizzbands.
Yeah, it is.
No.
That, that reminded me of
Minutes on
something.
my curse.
That actually reminded me of something. I'm doing the Draco lock, but I decided to catch a Gibby Ghoul solely in, like, after the stream is over. Maybe I'll train it or something. I named it Hoshi because of your Mimic curse.
Nice.
Listen, if you just have a Goldango and they're just, the Dragon Horde, that'd be really good on the team. Goldango's really powerful.
True. But it's not a dragon, so I can't really use it.
But they're the Horde.
Yeah, but...
They have this make it rain, and that just throws the entire Horde at the foe. Just keep it as an option.
I'll think about it.
Nah. Well, my players aren't going to be watching this stream, or maybe they will, and maybe they'll have the one Easter egg of what the Horde of the Elder Brain Dragon final boss is going to be. It's just gonna be a
Then-
simple glass window showing the planet.
And then horde mimic.
No, the horde is the planet. They're like, yeah, this is mine. All of this is
Yeah.
mine.
The planet is the mimic.
No, I already had to
Mimic
deal with a
planet.
mimic mountain before.
Hey, I'm already doing the thing where the moon is a giant egg, so you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, why not?
The mimic mountain, the mimic town, the mimic castle.
I kind of want to do a mimic. I kind of want to do a mimic town, but it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Mimic healing
Yeah.
potions is one of my favorite ones.
No. Like the mimic town, everything in the town was a mimic. Even the dead corpse that were in the town.
Yeah, that'd be really good for like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Thing, the Blob. You can incorporate all those. It just mimics.
Yeah. So
I mean, to be honest, the Mind Flayer thing isn't too far off because of the joke you made of Hotech and what's under Barovia and what happens to Hotech in one timeline.
Oh yeah. Oh
mm,
yeah, right.
So they could have made it to the surface. Listen, one person gets out of the cave. It's either that Mind Flayer or it's Hotech. Which timeline
Take your
are we
pick.
in?
Which one do you want?
it's a horrifying
yeah.
coin flip. Could get Hotek. Could also get Mind Flayers.
You
I'm
take a
leaving-
pick.
I'm leaving that to a coin flip. In the future, one of Raul's advice is going to be either Hotech or a Mind Flayer that somehow deceived him.
You take a pick. Hotek? Or Tentacle Friend?
Would Hotek still like Mind Flayers, considering?
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
It's still a friend to everyone, even the Mind Flayers.
Oh,
Listen,
This whole conversation just made me pull the SpongeBob reference out of my head. The Alaskan bullworm.
In power.
scary and
And
pink.
So is Patrick's belly button, but I'm not afraid of that neither.
Oh,
Oh, there it goes. So I'll set that up over there.
Draco, check the chat.
Oh, I already did the Alaskan bullworm gif. Oh, never mind. I see
No.
this. Now, I see. Pull me on phone to drag me away. Ah, I could do that.
drive me away to see.
I'll just mute for a sec.
None of you are safe from the healing potion mimic.
They're like ticks. That's
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
See, what else would be awful besides giant horde mimic and Mind Flayers in the
A
castle?
toilet.
Yeah.
Catch you lacking. Also, in my experience, a bed.
I have one of those too.
I mean, I wasn't the one that got caught by it. It was another player.
Like, literally, my curse is every time I play in a D&D campaign. Well, so far not this one. Or the Odyssey of Dragonlord. I always find the mimic.
Well, you have 2 more chances with these upcoming games.
And the only reason why I didn't find it in the Odyssey of Dragonlord replay, I played it before. We only got to when we were sailing off to the sea. I found the mimic the first time we found it. I played the campaign. That's why I didn't go towards the door because I knew it was there.
So yeah, it led you it.
Yes.
See. But yeah, who knows if Draco adds them into Obojima or if they're in Crooked Moon. Guess it really depends on how well you want to look into things.
Look, Obajima, I'm not going to force anything that looks suspicious.
I mean,
Granted, another reason why I'm playing a slime. I have a liquid form, so I will get out. I won't get stuck.
that would... Yeah, that would be awful. It just stuck like peanut butter to a mimic. But a peanut butter mimic also sounds awful.
Yeah, I think this my curse started when I first started playing D&D as well. Because what happened was, I think it was like the third section when I first started playing. We were in this like catacomb dungeon type thing, and we were going through it. I found like everybody else was checking out the doors. I was playing a monk, a Tabascan monk, and I end up going into this one room that it looked like it was just a dining room with a chest at the other end of the room. So me wanting to walk over to the chest, I tried to open it. And apparently, I opened it. I didn't see nothing. Then teeth came out, and it popped up to my hand, and I was stuck.
I have returned.
Then, welcome back. And then the room started like falling apart, and the only thing you see where the room was spider webs, and then giant spiders started coming down from the ceiling. And then under the chest was a hole. Well, under the mimic there was a hole. So we had to kill the mimic to get into the hole to escape the spiders. My party wanted to chop off my monk's hand.
Oh, also, I have news. Yelling is going to be joining us. The call was to try and give them an escape. And they said they'll try to head back in once they're done using the BR before hopping in, and we can explain to them the horrors you've seen while I'm setting up the other stuff here.
Or we
Yeah,
can
I could basically say, like, while we're on break, as soon as you show the giant fucking heart, I'm like, oh god, that's his actual heart, isn't it? We have to kill that thing to actually kill him.
Well, I'm
So
gonna need a lot of stakes for that.
I will make it a little clearer, because I did mention that it might have a set number of health. It is just an additional heart that he can make take damage for him. It's not really clear in either the vanilla module or the homebrew module if it is his heart directly. It could be. It probably is, let's be honest.
So we gotta go after the heart first.
And theoretically, you could ignore the heart entirely, but then he has an unknown amount of damage that he's just not going to take when you attack him.
It's like
I'm
a
good
third
on
health
that.
bar. Because we know Strahd has a second form and a second health bar, so this heart is just phase 1.
Honestly, it's a very apt comparison.
He is just a Dark Souls boss.
Okay, so I guess...
Hello, lovely people.
Hello!
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be back.
And, oh boy, what you missed. Who would like to, take the floor on this?
Do we get partial inspiration?
No. We found out something very important about Strahd.
Oh.
So through the chapters that we were going through, he was doing like, his thing, just,
Accidentally
overseeing
ran
some
like a baller.
rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. And apparently he was at every like ritual site, he was collecting stuff for his own ritual. Turns out, somewhere in the Ravenloft castle, we have to find a tower, because inside that tower is, I kid you not, a giant heart. A giant human heart.
Did he lock his own heart, or was it?
It could be safe to assume that it is his own heart, but essentially it is a giant heart that is connected to him.
I was gonna say, excellent question. Maybe.
Because it might not be his heart.
I mean, in technicality it is, because Karnak was the only one who was able to roll high enough for it. Because in the first time we fought Strahd, how you guys were doing attacks to him, but like he wasn't taking any damage at all. So it turns out that heart is basically an extra health bar for Strahd.
You can basically choose to make it take extra damage for him. In a nutshell.
So while we're exploring Ravenloft Castle, we have to find this heart and destroy it. Otherwise, Strahd has an additional health bar we have to go through with an unknown amount. So it's probably safe to just destroy this thing. Because I'm afraid we can't actually defeat him if that thing is still beating.
Gather you all up here. And I guess, do you guys want to decide in a story about which way you're going to go, or should I get yelling up to snuff about the choice you have to make in this next chapter?
Get them up to snuff first. That way we can actually make the decision.
Okay, so yelling, I basically revealed to everyone in the next chapter there is going to be combat, and you all are going to have to make a choice. You can follow Strahd and see more of his combat capabilities in actual combat, or you can follow Rahadin and learn more about the castle and locations within.
Mm-hmm.
So you will need to make a choice on which one of them you want to support and ergo learn more about.
Will be a situation of, do we want to know more about the big man himself, or do we want to know about the location we're going to be going to?
I feel like location's pretty important based on what the heck was that?
What was what?
Oh, y'all didn't hear it. Okay, then it's on my end. I think it was mic feedback from not my setup. If it wasn't obvious. Yeah, when I said I'm afraid of being a DMCA risk, this is why.
Mm.
And that's more feedback, I think.
I don't think you're lighting up, so...
Yeah, I'm not hearing it.
I'm glad it's not, like, audible, but it's just... I really want to stream. I don't want this entire situation happening.
It's
every time. And this was like fully out of our control.
Yeah. does this NPC token not have all of its health? It hasn't taken damage.
Real quick, while we were on break, I finally watched the Super trailer.
The which
think
trailer?
the new Superman trailer that came out today.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I didn't know there was a new trailer.
It came out. It came out this afternoon, so I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but here it is. But holy crap! This is the most Clark Kent I've ever seen since Christopher Reeve.
Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out after stream.
I'm I'm giving him that much credit because holy crap! Like I'm not gonna spoil a thing. Watch it if you guys are on stream or anything like that. Watch the trailer, and when this movie comes out, watch this movie because he's my favorite superhero of all time, and this Superman to me looks and sounds exactly like how I picture him.
I guess for the other combat, I can do that one on the fly, because I'm going to have to randomly roll how many of certain enemies there's going to be at certain times, so I think I'm as set up as I need to be. So, before we head back into it, I'm going to use the restroom real quick, since I was spending all my time setting that up.
And also dragging me back.
And that. I will return. Keep chat entertained.
It's all good. Guess while Draco's away, do you guys have any say on which route we want to go? Try to make it smoother for Draco? Because I think location will probably be very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think location would be better because then we can find out where the heart is or where we need to actually go
Yeah.
when we get in. So it'll be easier for us to make a better plan.
See. Yeah, because I'm looking back at Madame Ava's reading. The final battle. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will leave you to him. The Raven. She shows us loss has hit the devil hard. Look to the tomb of his castle's namesake. So that may be the catacombs or where all the tombs are. So that may be where we have to find and fight him. I mean, that's just what I'm assuming from the reading.
Yeah, my boss is to search the castle.
Alright, so I guess when he comes back, we can let him know.
How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
That's
Chilling.
good. I'm excited for next week, which is Art Raid Train, hopefully, if everything goes as according to plan. Blech, according to plan, words.
So too. Sounds like it'll be a lot of fun for you guys.
Have returned.
Welcome back. Back again.
Oh my gosh.
What? What happened?
The first VTuber Circle pictures finally came out.
Oh, yeah. I told you that.
No, that was yours was the second one for me.
Oh.
The first one just came out for me to see.
Got you. Right.
Yeah, Draco, I think we're all I think we agreed that we're going to try to do the battle with Rahadin to try to see more of the castle.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Alright, the ad just started, so... Well, not just started. We've got like 30 seconds before it ends. So we'll probably hop in once that's over. If everyone is here and ready to go.
I'm here.
Yep.
I am also here. And also I'm sending you the first one, so you know what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Granted, you could also check since we're in the same Discord for it, but this is the one I'm talking about, which is completely different.
Now for something completely different. But Daluna, Choco, you guys here?
I am.
Alright.
This might be the last chapter for me because I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel super tired.
I
Alright.
mean, it is midnight.
Yeah, normally it wouldn't be a problem, but I'm also sick, and I've been sick for like 3 days, and yeah,
Ooh.
Why
I've
you
also been
sick?
up since like 7:30 in the morning.
Dang.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold up. Why have you been up since then?
Work.
I
Mean-
am sorry for your loss.
Yeah. But yeah, no, since this is gonna be combat related, we will see how things develop. But let's head back on in. And let's get that Arcana for the book decoding. I imagine that you're going to be getting advantage from Clover assisting.
Mm-hmm.
And Antonius has burned some bardic inspiration. Do you want to spend... Oh, right, on it.
Wait, has? Yes?
That's right. You used one, but then I was just reminded, yeah, you get your bardic inspirations back on short rest, so you should be fine and have all of them.
I'm back to full. That's why I was confused.
Okay. Also, I'm going to do something to your sheet really quick. I let Hoshi use it so he could run you. I'm just taking him off.
Thank you, Hoshi.
No problem. What? Question. Where did you get the black pudding from?
That would have been from the first. What's their name?
From the
The
From the
Hags?
Hags, it's a dream pastry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's partially eaten.
It's probably went bad, to be honest.
Yeah, at this point, you've had it for quite some time. Like, at least several weeks. It's probably bad.
But, like, also has... Like, is there a thing to tell if food is bad in D&D? Is there actually a time limit on food?
There's not, like,
Canonically?
set canonical rules, but we can reason with our brains and knowledge of the world we exist in when food go bad. Unless it's magical.
Yeah.
Actually, I just thought it's
It
magical.
is technically magical.
The dream pastries are magical, so maybe they don't go bad. Hmm.
Well, it depends. Is the magic tied to the hags? Because the hags have been dead for a couple weeks too.
Oh,
I was gonna say, that's a funny thing, Draco. You haven't been making us roll for our pastry problem.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't in a while.
It has been like a couple weeks.
I think Kardec was at like was done with his. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah,
Bolt does have.
because
Would Antonius have, or was it just the tail that got
It was
addicted?
the tail. You never ate any of your own, so we didn't have to run any for Antonius. Kardec, I know, was like at the tail end of his, if not over. But yeah, I kind of spaced on that. That's on me. Next time you rest, I guess we'll have the Dream Pastry Con saves. But
no, like I was keeping track. Like I was done weeks ago. It's not on my sheet anymore. How long I have it?
all right.
I don't even remember how long Bolts was.
I know what your con save is currently at for it. I'm not gonna go into
Actually,
Hmm?
Draco, I just realized something.
What?
Kardec no longer has half sober on his head.
Oh yeah, that would have
Oh
run
my
out by now.
gosh.
I totally forgot about that.
Hmm.
I also forgot.
Hooray!
All this time he's at it. It's finally run out.
Yes, and now
Because
it's
I like when we broke off the deal. I took off like Kardec had 5 days left, and it's obviously been more than 5 days.
Yeah. All right. So, let's get into it. Bolt Arcana check with advantage, and you would have the guidance and the bardic inspiration.
Okay,
God
that's
damn.
26.
That is. It's a bit over what you needed, but it is enough to make it. You crack the code and learn that the next chapter, chapter 9, The March of the Dawn. Let me read that again. The March of the Dawn. In life, the Morning Lord's light never reached me. In death, its presence was an eternal plague. And the mist swirls and take you to a different angle on it, but an area you have been before multiple times. You should see yourselves in that lower corner over there. And I will read what you see. And I guess you wouldn't see what I thought you might see from this angle because of the height. So I will keep that in mind. Let me just move this for chat. Perfect. Looking across the grand chasm that descends thousands of feet below the drawbridge, the mists and rain in the distance part as a crowd of hundreds marches towards the edge of the ravine. Leading the charge is a blinding, radiant light burning through the watery veil like a small sun. A trumpet sounds from the army, thundering through the valley, and grinding heavy metal gears and chains groan below, almost in response. A rapid series of clanks and clangs screech from the gatehouses, as the heavy chains of the drawbridge fall unrestricted. The castle's bridge crashes down, warping and nearly snapping as it slams into position, spanning the vast canyon. Anyone who wants to can roll a insight check on Strahd, how he feels at this moment, with the hundreds of people rushing in as the draw gate drops.
I know everything.
I'm gonna Goddamn.
I was not expecting that.
All right, I think I'm gonna go with our nat 20s first this time. Clover, you would recognize what you're seeing from Strahd right now. He is excited at the possibility of a challenge. It has been decades at this point of him being a vampire, you'd wager, and nothing has challenged him. He's been this all-powerful force in Barovia, but a army of hundreds? This could be fun. Finally, something to battle the boredom he feels. To everyone who didn't roll a nat 20, you all rolled pretty high, so you get the feeling he seems to be excited. You're not exactly sure why he would be excited at the gates coming down. Maybe he gets a thrill out of the fight. You don't know what Clover got with the decades, but you do know he is excited about the battle that's to come.
How do the rogues get nat 20s on this?
You
I
just,
Both
realized
of
I didn't
them?
roll, so let me go ahead and do that.
you know people.
I am trained in insight. This is
Again,
my-
Cardex checked out because he's like, he looks fine. He looks happy. I don't give a shit.
I mean, Clover's background is investigator, so this makes sense for her. She knows her shit.
I'm a trickster, like I'm the arcade trickster. Why am I also getting a nat 20 on this?
Also, I feel like it makes sense for Clover too, because Clover also gets a kick out of fighting, so it's like, you know that look.
Mm.
True.
I mean,
I
maybe
wonder
Antonius
if
put two-
Antonius knows it out of trauma.
Yeah,
I could see it.
I could definitely see that too, actually.
Not to mention the weird miniature blazing sun heading towards the castle for some reason.
Mm.
Maybe that's why you got the nat 20, because you saw the fireball, and then you see Strahd. It's like, wait, he's not scared.
How is he not scared?
Granted, Antonius is already deathly afraid of fire and is still afraid of fire because of that particular person.
Yeah, so that's why you got the nat 20, because I'm scared, but he's not. Oh no, he's not scared.
Why is he not
No,
scared?
but like, I don't know if I could argue that that would make sense for Antonius because like
Oh dang it, I just
Antonius
realized this.
currently has a
again.
deathly fear of whatchamacallit,
The
like fire in general. Not everyone has it. He's been avoiding Kai for a while. And still kind of is trying to avoid Kai. Right? Like that's been an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's within our party. Everyone else in the party is perfectly fine with fire.
yeah.
Why would Strahd being fine with fire be something out of the norm
And I mean,
for Antonius?
it's not technically fire. It looks like a miniature sun. It's radiant light. So you'd think he would be afraid of that, but he isn't.
Maybe that's what you're getting. It's like the fact that he's not afraid, but the fact that he's like getting excited about what any person should be afraid of.
Okay.
But as you glean that information, Strahd nods to Rahadin, and he goes to the south, but before he gets too far, Strahd interrupts. Rahadin, hold. Generals, I trust your judgment. Would you like to join my welcoming party? Or would you like to attend to our dinner guests with Rahadin?
Above game, why does this feel like a sacrifice either way?
I mean, there are
Yeah, they
benefits to
support both.
each.
Get to
No,
know the
like,
layout of the castle, or get to know about Strahd.
It feels like that it would have been like one is like sacrifice slash offering, and the other one is also a thinly veiled sacrifice slash offering for rituals.
I will say above game, there is no ritual going on. This is just a battle.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm curious about the dinner guests, to be honest. 'Cause we also did
I
say
am curious
to get
about dinner
inside.
guests. Because there could be more thievery that could be afoot.
Well, I am hungry.
Hmm?
let's go to dinner because we weren't able to do it when at the beginning of the campaign.
Clover and I will just be like, want to see who can steal more stuff.
You have, like, the Gimli and Legolas challenge, but instead of killing people, it's stealing things.
Mhm.
Over just slowly looks at Antonius. You don't stand a chance.
It's on.
Okay. Bet. Bet. Okay.
Once you have made your decision, Strahd opens his cloak and a small bat flies out and stands on Rahadin's shoulder. Take Bartholomew, so I can be fully cued in on what's going on your end. And then in a puff of black, in a plume of black, Strahd's form dives over the battlements like a bird of prey in pursuit of a newly spied rodent. A rising cloud of steam precedes, and a deep orange glow that rises to meet your eyes. Strahd reappears mounted nobly on a flaming black steed that you've seen before. Its body is dense with muscle, but its face is skeletal and vicious. Its bony jaw and hollow eyes spew ash and embers into the nightly sky. And he rides off towards the coming march of soldiers. Well, I say soldiers. Militia would be more accurate. Little hard to see from here, but it looks like townspeople with weapons. There are some people with training mixed in there, but yeah, there's gonna be a few deaths at the very least. But Rahadin leads you all down south on the castle walls here, over to this section down there. Wait, did I miss someone?
Also, above game, is Rahadin's the one who has the information about the books, right?
Information about the books?
In the library?
No.
No.
Rahadin has been Strahd's companion and servant since he was a child. Since he was, like, when you met baby Strahd, Rahadin was training him. He was also there in the siege against Argynvostholt, and he has been here the entire story. Basically is Strahd's right-hand man. The one you're talking about is a lich that lives in the Amber Temple, who doesn't remember anything.
Oh, okay.
But Rahadin opens this trap door, and he leads you down. And let's change our map to a new section. And zoom in.
Am I supposed to see this weird amount of
Yes,
map?
because you've been there before. I have Explorer mode on, so rooms that you've already been in are marked on the map.
Interesting.
The big room
So,
up there was where the wedding was.
yep, that was the chapel. So I will need to do some adjustments on some of the other maps because I think I messed something up with that. But yeah, because you're going through the tome, you know where certain rooms in the castle are, by default.
I can't see.
You should be able to. Wait, is this room in darkness? Ah, it is
think.
in darkness.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I can see.
Alright. I mean, technically it would be. I'm gonna say, for the sake of ease, Rahadin will have a torch. Because, I mean, he would understand some of you cannot see in the dark. Though technically
Or I
you
could
should
just
be able
dancing
to.
Lights.
Nah,
Technically, I thought technically we were all vampires, right?
yeah, technically you probably are vampires in the setting. But just so Hoshi can actually see, we're gonna pretend he has a torch. He's probably gonna stuff it out when you get close to, like, the wherever he's leading you, but I digress.
See, I can fight.
Rahadin leads you around the edge of the castle walls to a steep spiral staircase that snakes through the center of Ravenloft, down a narrow hall on the ground floor, and into an archer's post along the perimeter. Through the slits in the stone, you have full view of the courtyard, but Rahadin presses his ear to the eastern wall, and I will move you... Well, I'm not going to do that like that, so let's... This is where you see the arrow slits, where I've just moved you, and I will move chat's view so they can also see.
Good to know.
Why is there even more visible? I'm confused with Explorer mode.
With Explorer mode, whenever things become revealed, I think it
It
shows.
basically shows wherever you have seen a location, and I moved your tokens through walls. So you did see some stuff that you shouldn't have. I can also reset this really quickly, and dynamic lighting, reset explored areas. There we go. Unfortunately, by doing that, I'm going to have to reveal the, chapel again, but I can just really quickly... You also have seen the outside, so I'm going to give you a little bit of the outside, move your token over there, and now everyone should have that stuff unlocked. But feel free to move yourselves around. He's moving over this way. And he presses his ear against this wall right here. And let me move him one more up. There we go. Let me read. He pushes his hand against the wall, and a stone passage slides open in conjunction with a grunt and clang of steel. And I'm going to open this secret door behind where the pipe organ should have been. You've been in this dining hall before, so you would know that there should be a pipe organ there, but it seems to have slid out of the way ever so slightly, revealing this door. Luxurious dining hall of Ravenloft is devoid of its glamour. The darkened room, however, hosting its guests, a knight in glimmering mail, and a slender figure in loose-fitting robes enshrouded in an aura of silver magic stand over what remains of 5 vampires. And I'm going to show you the art I've grabbed for their tokens. There's a dwarf in heavy armor, and a...
Looks like fucking Odin.
and a tiefling wizard. Oh, for some reason it's taking forever for chat's view to load. Dang it. There it goes. And of course, as you would imagine, it's time to roll initiative.
Let's go.
I also think Kardak's missing on the map.
Oh, did I forget
Yeah,
to pop him in? Oh, dang.
I don't even see myself on the map. It's just completely black for me.
Sorry about that. I guess I forgot to... I could have swore I grabbed everyone's tokens, but I might have missed yours, or maybe I accidentally deleted it. There you go.
Karnak, we need you in here.
And I'd like to mention, in the homebrew module, they do not have names. I gave them these names. I also picked what races they were, because it's just generic wizard and generic knight. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Right, so did I roll? Yes, I did. I rolled her. We gotta roll in Rahadin. And let's change the music to something a little more combat-y. Oop. Where art thou? Nope, that's theme music, battle music. There we go. Alright, and did everyone roll?
Yes.
Okie doke. Let's turn the initiative into its proper descending order. Bolt's on first.
Who's on second?
Kardec. Kardec's on second. I know what you were referencing, but I wanted to double check.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself on that.
I'm gonna finish the joke. Third base.
Hey, Draco.
Yes.
You know what I have access to right now?
Do tell.
4th level spell slots.
Ah.
Do you know what I'm gonna cast?
I'm gonna guess Shatter.
4th level Shatter.
Hmm.
But Bolt is in 2-minute offense right now. He's like, nope, go, go, go. So yeah, just 4th level Shatter on these buffoons.
Let me... Okay. So, I'm also going to have our knight here take a reaction. You watch him flash in light as the sound crashes in. I need you to make a DC 15 Charisma saving throw. You're also taking the damage you've just dealt. And I will do their con saves. That is 17. So he makes the save. Looks like Bolt is going to be taking that damage as the light manages to send the shatter back at you, but only you at least. Damn, they both made the save.
So they're taking 12 damage.
Alright. Minus 12. Minus 12. And you will be taking the full damage you just did in radiant damage.
Ignore that.
Oh, jeez.
Okie
Well,
doke.
That is a huge
Yeah, that-
wall of text.
That is a lot. I'm just gonna hide that so it's not there.
Skillful wording is a very detailed spell.
You know, just skillful forwarding the piano, it's fine.
Attack against creature. I mean, technically that was an AoE, but it did attack a creature other than him, so I counted it. Alright, and any bonus actions, or is that it for your turn?
I think that's it, yeah.
Alright, then that will bring us to Kardec. What do?
Do I go in here to attack or what?
Mm-hmm. You
Like, I
can,
can see the.
yeah, you can freely move into the room because the secret door is opened.
He's gonna come over here. Literally, like like basically go around and go like, okay, hi.
Hello there.
Fire 1.
Who are you shooting at? The knight or knight? Okay.
Dwarf.
All right, and a 17 will just barely hit.
Sick.
Let me take a look at his. Okay, so he doesn't take as much damage as you thought he might. He is very tanky.
How is that so?
Oh wait, it's a +1 longbow. I apologize. Never mind.
Draco?
Yes.
How often does rebuke the thing work?
It is a reaction. He can only do it once
It's a reaction?
when it's not his turn. Yeah.
Okay.
So like he has spent that. He cannot do it again until his turn recycles.
Fire 2.
Actually, I just realized on the sheet it says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. It doesn't say from non-magical weapons. It just says in general, so I think he would be resistant to it still.
I apologize if you heard things.
No, you
Well,
good.
if it's resistance and he's taking it at a disadvantage, that's still a 17.
Yeah. No,
If that's the case, then this was an 18.
well, he's resistant to piercing damage specifically, so he's only taking half of that 6 from before. And the attack you did does hit, so you can roll the damage. Okay,
So he's taking 4 from this one.
Yep.
And guess what? Extra attack.
Nice.
So, fire 3. If it'll...
And hey, you guessed
I'm
it.
assuming that's another 3 damage.
No, the
Or
3.
4 damage.
Yeah, that'd be 4 because we round up in this house.
And then fire 4. Double 19. Let's go.
Goddamn. So that'd be 3.
Yeah. What
There we go.
what level are you, Kardik, in fighter?
I am level 5 or level 6 fighter, level 7 sorcerer.
Okay. Are you meaning extra tech or action surge?
Action surge is what I meant. Yeah.
Alright.
Actually, no, it was extra attack because I do get extra attack. I get 2 arrow shots per attack.
Yeah, so you get 2 shots. Action surge would be the other 2.
Yeah.
So you can,
So action surge then.
Yep.
I'm like, Joe-Cat, you proud of me? I did exactly what you said in the video.
Haha! Right, and that's it for your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that will bring us to Antonius.
Who probably can't see much. And is probably going to stay as far as possible. Because of a certain person in front of him.
Ah. Yeah.
Just fucking move past me.
you could see this corner up here. You can run to there.
Good.
I'm not paying
I
attention to you.
could-
Go ahead.
Clover turns his head towards him. I guess I'm going to win.
Just run by, insult someone, and run past.
That's flat 30.
Okay.
Or fairy fire war too.
Look, it's like that one horror game. If you don't look at it, it's not there.
True.
Your brain is the temple of idiots.
Don't you talk about my brothers like that?
I blindly walk this way. Sorry, run this way so I don't see fire.
Not looking.
If he was frickin' if he still had a tail, his tail would have been between his legs, 100%. Anyway, let's. Do a chill touch.
17. Who's that going for? The knight or the mage?
This is the person I can see.
Ah, then the knight.
What'd you say the knight was again?
Hmm?
Was he a dwarf?
He was a dwarf, yes.
Okay.
Was.
Well, we'll see. Yes, 17 hits. Roll damage. And let's see his... it doesn't do nearly as much damage as you think it should. He apparently seems to be resistant to necrotic.
Huh.
He is a holy man.
The passive effect still goes off, though, I believe.
Believe it would. What is the passive? Take
They
1d8,
cannot
can't
heal.
regain hit points. Ah!
You call that a beard? The dwarven god himself would disown you.
His eyes narrow. Dare you.
Like a vicious mockery stuff now. No?
And I'm going to use. What's the inspiration to make the attacks better?
Magical inspiration.
That. I'm gonna use that on him.
Okay, so that is... What does that do again?
As it,
It is this.
Okay, there we go. Creature, bardic
draw the-
inspiration. You can roll that
So
die.
you have to give that bardic inspiration to someone, and then they can add extra damage to it. If they cast a spell. So you have to give it to one of the spellcasters.
Wait, I think...
No.
I think
There's a
I think they're
different
looking
one.
for cutting words.
Yeah,
Or unsettling words or something like that.
it's unsettling words.
No creature data self.
Okay.
Bonus action, you expend one of your bardic inspirations. Choose a creature you see. You roll the die. The creature must subtract the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of your turn. Then yeah,
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Eloquent bards are basically politicians.
Yeah.
right. Roll a D, or not D20. Roll your D10. I believe it is now.
it's D10.
Also, I see you, Redemption Paladin. I applaud you.
All right. So he will take 4 from next saving throw, and I believe that brings us to Raoul.
Alright. Let us. First. Let's bonus action Crimson Right. So I take 1 necrotic damage.
Minimal.
Yep. I run in. Alright, I got enough movement. You know what? Let's geek the mage. I'm gonna run in and start mauling them.
Eep. That is in character. The mage. She said exactly eep.
24.
Yeah, that's gonna hit, I think.
Don't humanize them and give them personality. Sorry, I feel bad about this.
11 radiant, 4 fire. And I assume they're not undead.
No, she is not undead.
Alright.
And she has...
You feel bad for characters that already died in the past?
Yeah, because we're doing it.
Yeah, just now you're actively the ones doing it. So that'd be 13.
But
Yep.
these events have technically already happened,
Listen,
so
I know,
if we
but
were
still,
doing it, does
we're
it
doing
really
it.
mean... But are we
Alright.
really doing
And
it?
a
Yes.
14.
Yes.
14 isn't going to hit. Just barely
Raoul is
miss.
literally mauling a mage right now.
Okay, they lived this time. That was
Extraordinary
that's
pain!
a 3 on. That's a 3 on die. I end my turn.
Alright, and that will bring us to the geeked mage. Let's see. I had a plan
Blah,
for
blah,
her, but I think...
I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire with a lightsaber. What are you gonna do?
I can't even see what's going on in there.
I think, given how you just slammed the ever-loving shit out of her, she realizes the serious threat you are, and is gonna spend her strongest spell slot to cast Maze on you.
Ah.
What the heck, Aruni, is Maze?
You banish creature you
Let's
can
fucking
see
go.
in a labyrinthine demiplane. The target remains there for the duration or until it escapes the maze. Target can use its action to attempt escape. When it does so, it makes a DC 20 intelligence check. If it succeeds, it escapes, and the spell ends.
So he's gonna be he's in a demiplane right now, but he's gonna be in another demiplane.
Yep, he's in 2 levels of demiplane as you all watch as he goes and vanishes.
3 levels if you count the book.
True.
Wait,
Demiception.
wait.
I'm gone, guys.
What is the second one then?
The book.
We're in the book. We're
Yeah,
in the book.
you're
the
in the
book
book.
chose this memory.
And Barovia.
So he's in the
I guess.
maze. The maze is in the book. The book is in Barovia, which is its own demiplane.
If only Zio was
Oh, okay.
here. If only
Now,
Zio
now
was
we're
here.
good.
This.
Yeah, the
If only we
CEO
had
would have been
Counterspell.
great in Maze. If only someone had counterspell to try and counterspell this level 8 spell. But 2 of your casters that have it are not here.
Yep, you guys just see Varl basically disintegrate and go into a different and disappear.
I'm gonna say for flavor, like, a shape appears in the air that looks like a maze made of light, and then it blinks out of existence with Raoul. It's a constant.
Finish the fight.
Well, fuck.
So Raoul is now gone. She is very hurt. She's gonna just step back a few feet because she doesn't want in the corner because she doesn't want to be near any of the people that hit her really, really hard. Actually, before I do that, let me look at our friend here. Is that a... No, that's a touch spell. Okay, so she's gonna actually stay where she's standing after removing Raoul from the equation. And we'll go to the dwarf who places his hands on his very injured ally and cast at 2nd level Cure Wounds. So, plus 14. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you, Nuramuk. Nurarmuck for anyone's notes. Of course, Morali, we just have to hold out for Emric to get back. And that was his action. I don't think he has any bonus actions. He sure doesn't. And that means we are at Rahadin himself. He's gonna pull out his scimitar, head right into the fray against this dwarf, and just go ham on him. Attack number 1. Attack number 2. Attack number 3. Haha, hold out. Yeah. And the night is now looking really rough after Rahadi just pinpointed all of the flaws in his armor. Clover?
Draco?
Yes?
Draco, I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Would Cure Wounds work
Why would it not work?
because of Chill Touch?
It's on himself.
Yeah, Chill Touch was cast on the knight, not on the mage, so the mage can heal.
Yeah, he can't heal himself, but he can heal
Oh,
others.
okay, never mind. We're good.
Right, so it is now Clover's turn. Knight's looking really rough now after Rahadin eviscerated him. Attacks.
Clover's gonna get behind the knight. And then she pulls out her rapier and her whip.
Wait, you can you just take the chair?
Chair?
I mean, you're next to a dining table.
It's true, you
Can
are next
take
to the
chair?
dining table and the chair. I mean,
I got Clover with the chair.
Clover, the wooden chair. Oh God!
Please.
I don't think Clover has
What do you
tavern brawler.
mean?
I would have travel, bro.
I has tavern
How would you rate a chair? What would a chair be?
Well,
It
it's
is
an
a- it is a
improvised
strength
weapon,
attack.
and it would be a club probably. Would be the closest thing to it.
Okay,
No, it's okay. Kai can do it.
It's true.
Kai's literally built for this.
Kai is built to use chairs.
Everything's a weapon in my hands.
But anyway, Clover, you were saying?
Attack number 1. 25.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
4. 25 damage.
25 damage. He's looking real rough after that hit. He's holding his side. Ugh.
Second attack. 18.
Will also hit.
For 9.
And how would you like to do this?
She goes in with the first stab, getting into the creaks of his armor, and then for the second one, she just stabs him in the face, right in the eyeball, and she pulls out her rapier with his eyeball still on it.
As the blood hemorrhages from his now open eye hole, he looks at the tiefling you now know as Morali and says, "Run! Find Emric!" and collapses.
Bonus action. Clover hits the mage with her whip.
Offhand.
Yep, -9. It's without my dex mod, correct?
Yes.
Only-
Yes.
If it's
Only
offhand.
for damage unless
Yeah, it's not
unless you're
offhand.
dual wield. Unless you have dual wielder.
I do not yet.
Okay, so yeah, then that
So
would
it's a-
be 17, I believe.
No, you still get all the modifiers to hit. It's for damage where you don't get the bonuses.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Rival's a dual wielder too.
So then 26 is definitely gonna hit.
So 3 damage.
Okay, so 3 minus 3. You sort of whip her across the face. She holds her face, tears in her eyes. You get the feeling that Morali may have had very strong feelings towards this dwarven man. They may have been in a relationship.
Well,
Clover
bad day
just
for that.
Clover just feels upset now.
You killed her husband. How dare you?
And now it's Kai's turn.
That she needs to make a con save.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Roll that con save. Is Raoul back in action? Yes! So, I want to set the scene before I bring Raoul back. Raoul, you find yourself in a sprawling maze. Like, it's dark, the sky above, the walls are very long, and you don't think there's any way you could climb them. You start to step forward to begin exploring the maze, and you're back.
As
Congrats.
As the days go by. Alright, can I get in there?
Yeah, I'm getting in.
You want the chair?
get the chair
Yeah,
and
I'll
turn
get
it
the chair.
into flames with your fire self.
I'll get the
just-
chair. I'm grabbing
God,
the
what's worse than a chair? A chair that's on fire.
Exactly.
chair. What'd you say?
You're already partially on fire, so you could easily light the chair, and then
What'd you say,
use that for
the damage
extra
was?
fire damage, theoretically.
Draco said a club.
Yeah, it would be a club to roll for a chair.
Let's see, what is a club? Is it D8?
What is club plus fire damage?
I mean,
Club.
I could say we could add like a D4 of fire.
Alright,
Club
you know
is
what? I'm just gonna
a
add club.
1d4.
Okay.
Well, for damage it is.
I'm just gonna add it onto my sheet. Just rename it chair.
Kai comes in with a flaming chair!
My God!
My God!
It's okay. We'll probably long rest after this because we have like 3 chapters. Let's go ham, buddy.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm good at use.
Here, I posted the exact gift for Kai right now.
Let's see, where is it? Ah, yeah, here it is. Bonus action shearing smite.
Okay.
Damn it. Okay, real quick. Chaco, I love you. That is a perfect one to put.
Yes, thank
That
you.
is
It's
so
perfect.
good.
Oh, and I'm gonna...
And let's hit
The
him
people
with
on
the chair.
YouTube won't be able to see this, but anyone in chat will be able to use that to find the GIF.
27.
Yeah, that's certainly gonna hit her.
Third level divine smite.
What does the chair say to the face?
Smack.
And let me add that searing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'd be 30 damage
30.
without the searing.
Yeah, where is it? This big list.
So
Just
let me
one.
First take that, and she needs to make a con save. The wizard is not the beefiest, although a 17 does beat it.
Here
So they're
again.
not on fire.
14.
14 just barely misses after you absolutely blow her head over to the side. She realizes the chair is a threat and jukes out of the way just to make a time to avoid getting hit with the second one.
Hey, at least I got to do it with the chair. Anyway.
It's true. Alright, and
In my turn.
that will be Bolt then up next. Will she live? Let's find out. What you thinking? Oh, I was asking Chaco. What's the plan?
Could I realistically get right in front of her? Like that?
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
Alright, cool.
realized I forgot something that's kind of important. You've met Rahadim before, and this wasn't a thing, but now it seems to be that there's surrounding him these phantom screams from locations you're not exactly sure where.
You sure it wasn't the fact that this wizard is vulnerable to chair damage?
No, this is all the way walking with him down to here. Anyone that was within 10 feet of him could hear screams of thousands of people.
Oh.
That just sort of are ambient and around him. It didn't do damage or anything, because obviously he wouldn't want to hurt his allies, but, like, that's just around and still going on while any of you are within 10 feet of him.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Alright, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Bolt just like walks up to this tiefling lady, just says, but would Bolt have picked up that the two would have been like in a relationship?
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty clear.
Bolt just like walks up, looks her in the eye, and says, "I'm sorry for your loss." Grabs her by the hand. Shocking grasp.
Okay, roll that attack.
Because I'm more than 11th level total now. This is now a 38 damage spell.
Jesus.
I don't think she's gonna live if you hit with it. Let's be real here.
26.
Yeah, that hits.
15 lightning damage.
How do you want to do
I think
this?
she's dead.
She had 8
Exactly. Exactly
Yeah,
like I
look at
said.
the
He just
bad guys.
walks up and just sees what happened and just says, "I'm so sorry for your loss." Grabs her hand and then.
You joy
Oh
buzzer
my
her
god,
to death.
he jokered her.
He sure did. Or we could also say Hecna, because Hecna did the same bit with the joy buzzer shocking grasp.
Man, I should have got the crowbar.
So you watch as she starts spasming as electricity jumps all over her body. She falls to the ground next to her lover. Irma, I'm so sorry. As she dies. Before Kardek's turn, you hear an explosion outside. It's muffled by the stone walls, but there were the telltale signs of a massive explosion, and the dirt from the ceiling gets shaken a little bit. That's probably something.
Probably nothing.
And
Probably
before Kardek comes in, you see the door open, and you see this man walk in. It says, wait, let me open the door again. It's hard because the token is, like, right there. Okay,
He
fuck it.
opens the door, sees the scene, and then he closes it instantly.
Shift and...
There
we go.
Just like, wait a minute. The door's stuck. There we go.
Opened it. Hey guys, I managed... Oh, sorry. Hey guys, I managed to get the drawbridge down. Now we just have to meet up with... And then he sees the room, sees all of you, his friend's dead, the vampire dust on the ground from before. Huh.
At this moment, he realized he fucked up.
And we're gonna roll him into initiative, see where he would go.
How long do I got before this chair breaks?
I'm gonna say it broke now, because it was also on fire.
Okay.
There's
But
Good thing
there's-
there's more chairs.
There is more chairs. You could grab another one if need be. Hey Kardek, it's your turn, and this very clearly an archer just walked in.
I was gonna say I have a bonus action. I might be doing something.
Oh, then by all means. Oh wait, I just realized something. I have to roll because of his class. I need to roll. Okay, it didn't matter. He has this, which gives him the advantage on initiative. So I figured I'd roll that really quick. But by all means, what is your bonus action before we get to Kardek?
Can Kardek see, or can Bolt see Antonius from where he is? Actually,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
You'd be able to.
Shit, this is a touch spell. Actually, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna feel light agility, so I have the extra movement.
Alright.
I'm just gonna walk over. I'm just gonna walk over to I can get right back. I can just get right back outside. Bolt's just gonna look at Antonius. I had the 35 feet. Just gonna walk outside, look at Antonius. Well, your turn, Belly. Slap him on the back. I'm gonna use third level for this.
Okay.
Dragon's Breath.
Ooh. What breath weapon are you giving Antonius?
Lightning damage. Because it's on brand for Bolt.
Yeah. Alright, so Antonius, when we get to your turn, you have a breath weapon that you can utilize.
This is dangerous.
He's gonna charge it up like a Pikachu.
Yes. Antonius. It is a 15-foot cone.
Come.
Yep.
But now it is Kardak's turn.
Where'd the archer go? He's still in the door?
Yeah, he's still in the doorway.
There's feline agility again for reminders.
Alright.
I remember, Antonius, you also have this.
Karnak is gonna be like, oh shit, fire one. 26.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
8.
Unlike the knight, he is not resistant.
19. Another 22.
That'll hit.
I feel sorry for this man above game, but in character, he's like, okay, I gotta play this as he is the person, like, he is not himself right now. Alright, there it is. That's it.
Alright, and that will bring us to the newly lightning breathed Antonius.
He feels a little bit of sparks in his cheeks. A little confused by it, but also feels like it needs to come out like immediately, whatever is going on. So he walks in. How far is the other person?
And I can show you, not that, we want this. So, how much movement do you have with feline agility as well? Your turn.
It would be double. It would be double move speed, so 60 feet. I'm assuming, unless Antonius has higher move speed.
Yeah, let me...
It would be 60.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, so yeah, you have 60 feet to play with. I wouldn't go straight ahead because the table is there and you would have to climb over it, but you can go, like, around the table.
Antonius is a cat. He's gonna jump on the table.
Okay. Roll in acrobatics. It's not gonna be hard, but just for the sake of argument. Oh yeah, no, you do sick flip on the table, run up, and, well, explain how you were unleashing your breath weapon on this poor man.
With all the sparks flying, you can see, like, the fur on his, head start, like, frizzing up really, really badly. and then it starts going down the entire body, just frizzy, and there's sparks of lightning arcing around his cheeks as he's just goes,
All right, and it is 3d6s, I believe, for Dragon's Breath.
46, because he used the
Right.
3rd level.
Okay, so Antonius roll 4d6s as I roll his dex save.
And the DC is my spell DC, which is 17, I believe.
He rolled a 6.
Takes 12 lightning damage.
Mm-hmm. And that is 12. He's looking really rough. Poor guy hasn't even had a moment to react to what he's seen.
Antonius doesn't even have a time to react to what he's like, the breath weapon. He's just like, what the heck? Like, you can see his eyes just like widen so much, like narrow so much, like, I don't know what just happened.
You know what the best part is? This is a concentration spell, and you have it until Bolt decides not to give this to you. So you still have electricity in your belly. But if no bonus actions are declared, that would bring us to Raoul.
Wait, is feline agility a bonus action?
I think that's just
It's
something.
for free.
Yeah, that's just something you can activate.
Okay. I am going to give dude words. I want to do bardic inspiration, but I want to figure out how it's gonna work best. Do I want to weaken the guy, or do I want to give it to Raoul?
I mean, Raoul is coming up next, and he looks very rough, the guy, so you could just have Raoul have the guarantee of hitting him.
Raoul distract him. Take a bardic inspiration.
Hot dog.
And look at that. Raoul, you're up.
Alright. Just blitz up 25 feet. I'm so sorry for this. 29 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
15 damage, unless he's undead.
He is not undead, and how would you like to do this? That's exactly what he had left.
Raoul just literally just sprints up and just cuts his head off in just like one motion, just like, you know, just try to make it quick.
The shining light of your sun's sword cauterizes the wound, so this one isn't nearly as bloody and grisly as it could have been. But his head falls off and rolls. And heads are alive for like a few seconds, but then it dies. And you have slain the intruders. And let's get to... So, there's stuff that happens like in the 3rd round and 4th round of this. At this point, we're going to say that Rahadin, telling Strahd everything through Bartholomew, has y'all head outside to see what Strahd is doing and what that explosion was. As you make your way outside, I'm changing the music because combat for you is over. And we're going to change to this. As I describe... You hear a pained scream from Strahd as you head out, and obviously Rahadin runs with you to try and get to it. The pouring rain originally that was outside turns warm and red. You recognize this. You saw it from afar when you were on that hill, and Clover saw the aftermath. This is the blood rain. You're in it now. You get to experience this nightmare in person. But you're on his side, so you won't have to make that wisdom saving throw that you would normally have to make in this scenario. As you run to the battle, you do finally manage to get it. You notice there's a lot less people here. Strahd has been busy while you've been doing your work. You see him battling with Serena Markovia. Her with her glowing mace, and him with everything he has in magic. He looks pissed off. The fight is not going the best for him. He lets out a scream, and then suddenly the battlefield is engulfed in blackness. Approximately, let me grab the spell so I can see how much darkness is here that you're seeing. Boop. Once it loads. That one is 60-foot radius of dark sphere. This isn't a normal darkness spell. Anyone familiar with it would very clearly recognize. Anyone who wants to can make an Arcana check to try and figure what on earth Strahd has just cast.
Is it Vanis Darkness?
It sure is. Okay, let's
Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
right? Okay. Alright, so... Unless anyone else wants to take the roll... Oh wait, Raoul, you rolled a 22. There are spells that exist in the highest tier of spellcraft that people don't get to experience very often. Dan is a bit of a magic nerd. Occasionally he will gush about things that he's read about and learned in calm moments. This is one of the most terrifying spells that he had mentioned to you. This is an 8th level spell known as Maddening Darkness. Anyone within that 60-foot radius sphere is in complete darkness. Non-magical light and light spells created by spells of 8th level or lower do not work. While within this dark sphere, you hear all sorts of horrifying noises, shrieks, rambling, mad laughter. And whenever you start your turn in there, you need to make a wisdom saving throw or take 8d8 psychic damage. And because it's such a massive sphere of darkness, good luck finding your way out of there.
So we know he has 8 level slots.
Mm-hmm. And you know by name one of his most powerful spells that he has at his disposal. But hey, if you fight him in a narrow room, he won't be able to use that without affecting his allies. Although you do realize he casted it on himself as well in this one-on-one fight he's doing. The likelihood he would cast it on itself if he gets mad enough is a possibility.
That lets us know that he's either desperate enough or he's confident that he'll survive longer than his opponent.
The fight is going on for a while. Rahadin sits on the outside with you, saying, "There's nothing we can do at this point. We can't get in there. We'll just have to wait and see how this goes." A few seconds pass, and suddenly an oppressive white-hot column of light descends from the heavens, crashing into this dome of shadow like a heavy stone shattering glass. The sky's blood dries to your face. The rain ceases, and before you, in a ray of pure sunlight, stands Strahd, face to face with Serena Markovia, much older than when you saw her during the unholy ritual on Yester Hill, clad in gold and blue armor. The land's Dark Lord and its Dawn Master are on the verge of collapse. The ground at their feet is scorched. The scattered dead lie incinerated. With a savage swing of Markovia's Morningstar, sparks fly from a previously unseen arcane shield guarding Strahd's face. with the knowledge you have now, you know he has used the heart to take that damage. The mystical deflection catapults her weapons from her hand, sending it sliding across the raised earth. Without a moment's hesitation, she lunges, drawing a stake from beneath her breastplate. The spike pierces Strahd's doublet, but it's halted, frozen in place as the wood meets the flesh. Strahd gasps the air as if he was holding the Dawn Master's collar. He lifts her from her feet while she gasps for breath. I am a just ruler, Serena. Do you not believe I have earned my place as Lord of Barovia? These lands' laws are my laws. Breaking those laws means betraying me. And do you know what happens to those who betray me? I would not suppose you would. There are none left to speak of it. Occult glyphs materialize between them that reform into a skeletal hand. Its pointer finger hovers above the Dawnmaster's heart and taps her chest. Serena Markovia's pained, violent scream is choked by the grotesque gurgling as she vomits bubbling, blackened blood. And her body hangs in the air, still strung up by Strahd's magic like a twisted marionette. The magic is dismissed, and Strahd falls to his knees alongside the lifeless shell that clatters onto the ash-coated battleground. With the light of the Morning Lord extinguished, the vampire dissolves in a cloud and drifts across the bridge, his gaseous form mingling with the mists enveloping Castle Ravenloft. The body of Serena Markovia rises sloppily to its feet, its right leg bent backwards at the knee, and it limps towards its new master in eternal servitude. The best way to rid the world of a plague is to begin with the rats. Bolt, you now have the ability to cast Summon Greater Steed as a ritual spell. When you cast this spell, it summons a nightmare.
Fun.
And you all come to. It's really late at this point. Probably for the best you turn in for the night before you read more in this tome.
One more day.
You now have a further grasp on the horrors that Strahd has at his disposal. But with that... Sorry, go ahead.
Take a long rest above game?
Yeah, this would be a long rest at this point.
More day for my arm.
Answer, but okay, we're reconnected. Now I can properly answer. There are 3 chapters left of the book, and what appears to be an epilogue, but you can't really read it. The page almost seems blank. It's faint. You're probably going to have to decipher those 3 chapters, and then the epilogue will unlock, is what you're thinking.
We got one more day to try to do 3 more chapters.
Yep. We did it this week. We'll get ready to hunker down, kids.
Indeed. And that means I'm going to have to do a decent amount of prep because there's some maps I need to grab for this next chapter. But I believe that is a great place for us to end off for the evening. So let's start going around the horn. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first because I gotta start getting ready for bed. Hello, I'm Chocolate Zombie 101. You find me all over the social medias as some form of Chocolate Zombie 101. I stream on Twitch. Tuesdays, you can find me on twitch.tv/BurnUpBond for our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign, Face of Our Lives, along with Draco, Daluna, and Hoshi, and a host of others. And then when we're not doing that, every other week you can find me, Draco, and Hoshi streaming our Baldur's Gate 3 campaign on Twitch. Wednesdays you can find me here doing this campaign, playing Bolt, and other campaigns soon to follow. And then Thursdays you can find us on Draco's channel for party games, and
Okay, we're reconnected. Sorry about that.
Yippee!
Who would like to go next?
I'll go next because I gotta get going too. Hello, everybody. I'm Royal Hoshi. You can find me at all social media as Royal Hoshi. Tuesdays, you can find me, Chocolate Daluna, and Draco on Burn on Spawn channel playing Phase of Our Life. And on other other Tuesdays, you can find me, Choco, and Draco on respective channels playing Baldur's Gate 3. Wednesdays, you can find me here on Draco's channel, playing Clover. And that is it for me. I gotta head to bed.
All right. Who's next?
And then bring the battery.
Yeah, I could go.
All right.
Hello, I'm Thanatos. You can find me here playing as Kai Vermilion, with Draco and the gang here. Tomorrow you can find me over at the Lost Knights channel playing as Solveric Village of Folk Artificer, as we're still trying to find our friend Glorbo. It feels like forever. It's actually been forever. It's been like a year.
Wow.
But we're gonna get him. Other than that, usually you'll find me in the chat on Draco stream, just to pop in and say hi, and that's really about it.
All right. Let's see who is left. I think it's just me yelling and Daluna.
That'd be me.
Yep.
And Broaden.
And Broaden.
I'll go really quick. You can find me here on Wednesdays playing Raoul. That's basically it. I'm going to pass it on to Daluna. Go.
Hello, my name is L13. You can find me on. I almost did my old one. You can find me on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch at Luna13. Friday, you will find me schedule permitting for Power Rangers Cyber Strike on Twitch Person's channel, along with Chaco here. So I'm gonna say it. If you haven't heard the announcement on that channel, I did get a new job, so unfortunately Fridays might not be guaranteed for me anymore. We're gonna try to start switching it over to Wednesdays. We'll give you more information when that comes to us. Just wanted to give that message all the way already. And tomorrow, if you're doing party games, Draco, if I come in and you're still here, I'll probably jump in.
Nice.
I close tomorrow, so.
All right.
Yep. That's it for me.
And that would leave us with the lovely yelling.
Hello, I go by Yotamano. I will be maybe streaming tomorrow morning, aka in about 12 hours from now, depending on double date time. Perhaps?
Or PM.
Okay. So yeah, I should have time for a short stream. And then maybe again later in the evening. Show art streams is gonna be what we're gonna be doing. And I'm gonna be trying to make a dance model, which is gonna be a multi-part dance model because I'm trying to do it within the limitations of the free version of Live 2D. And also with the version of, I'm trying to use Jelly Dream's plugin setup, so that's gonna be an interesting thing, that combination to rig and mess around with. Anyway, so that's that, and next week on Thursday is a raid train. I will be taking part in a raid train first thing in the morning EST. So that'll be fun. Please stay along for all the lovely, lovely people and take part in the train as well. Just joining in, saying hi to all the lovely artists in the train.
Choo choo. Couldn't resist.
Yippee! And also check out the other times I stream with my lovely boyfriend Draco.
Hey. And that would just leave me. Before we get to me, though, I haven't asked in a while. How'd you all enjoy tonight's session?
I wish I was there for more of it. That's my biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you already know why I couldn't do it,
Yeah.
and why and also thank you for calling me as a means of getting me out of said situation.
No worries. Happy to help. We had a few people talking over each other.
Said I had fun.
All right. Tonight was a wild one.
Got through a few chapters.
Yeah. Right, and let's get to me. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Mondays, Persona 5 Strikers. We are going to start, in quotes here, the final question mark jail? Surely the guy who made the Emma app is going to be the final boss. Surely. Tuesdays, as previously mentioned, you can find us over at Burnout Vons for Phase of Our Lives, or over here with Choco and Hoshi doing Baldur's Gate. Let me do that really quick. And then this one. These. I don't remember what the Baldies one is. I'll moving on. Thursdays. Mm-hmm. What is it?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay. Thursdays, you can find me here with a whole bunch of people doing party games, and Fridays, you can catch Ian Yelling here doing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm wrapping up the main story at this point. There's not much left to do aside from the Pokemon League. Go to Professor Sada to see what she has to say about Koraidon, and battle the big boss of Team Star. So we'll start tackling those things. But with all of that said and done, how about we find someone to raid? There is a person I would like to raid. I haven't raided them in a while, Spooky Zombie. She is apparently doing art for a friend of hers that it's a D&D OC. Actually, wait. Huh. It looks like they're on Newgrounds now.